everybody. Thank you for being here. We've got another great group, AI-powered personalized learning solutions. Here to kick it off, we have Varun from LitLab AI.
Well, hello, everyone, and congratulations on actually making it inside the room. So my name is Varun Gulati. I'm the co-founder and CEO of LitLab.ai, the hyper-personalized early reading platform for K-2. Before I jump in, I want to share a story. This is my co-founder, Christy. Christy, before she was my co-founder, was a second-grade teacher. And like many second-grade teachers, she had students who were at all over the place in the reading spectrum. When she tells a story of one student in particular, Andre. Andre struggled with reading, very curious, very bright, but struggled with reading. When she gave Andre books about things that he was interested in, he would just look at the pictures and flip through the pages and not really read. And when she gave him books about things he could read, he said they were boring and they were for babies. And this is a tension that many, many teachers today face, and it's only being exacerbated by the move to the science of reading. An excellent move, a good move for our schools. However, there's a lot of friction in the process. Entire level libraries that teachers once used are now defunct. So where does that leave us? We now have an entire ELA supplemental market that is seeing a whole bunch of upheaval. For those of y'all who made it to the RFP process the session today, you'll see that this entire market is really shifting, which is where we come in. LitLab.ai is an award-winning, hyper-personalized early reading platform for K-2 classrooms. What does that mean? A few things. One, we developed a very powerful internal generation system which allows us to create authentic decodables. Decodables are phonics readers that are actually interesting to kids. We've also created a version of this generator, two versions of this generator for teachers, where they can make fully illustrated decodable stories that practice the exact skills that they are teaching in that moment and reinforce particular keywords and topics. We have a nonfiction version of this, which is very important for background knowledge building, which is key in the science of reading movement right now. Finally, we've created the world's first student-safe AI that allows students to create their own stories. These are fully illustrated stories. The teachers are picking the parameters, but it's the students who get to be the creators. We are fully grounded in the science of reading. Our research advisor, Dr. Kim from the University of California, Irvine, is one of the leaders in the field. Let's see it in action. So when I log in as a teacher, I see hundreds of decodables, and I can pick one and see decodables that are super interesting with big visuals, comprehension questions attached, and these are perfect for kids that have been vetted by humans every step of the way. Now, let's say I want to create my own. I'm going to go and I'm going to choose a skill in my scope and sequence. So let's say I'm teaching additional affixes. I want to create a story about a hawk, and I'm going to put my co-founder Seba's name in there, along with the custom keyword barn. Now, within seconds, I have a decodable story generated. That decodable story, I can then share it, assign it to my classroom. I can download it as a PDF, use it for Tier 2 intervention, a very common use case. Or I can just create another decodable. Let's say I want to do a nonfiction one this time. Really meet that student who's interested in hawks where they're at while reinforcing the particular skill. Now, I want to show you what this looks like also for a student. So let's go back to this story, Bud the Cub. I'm going to go ahead and assign it to my student. I'm going to check a box that says create decodables. I don't just want them to read my decodable. I also want them to create their own. So this is a student view of it. Same story. Now they're answering comprehension questions along the way. Data that we bubble back up to the teacher. And on top of that, after they're done with that, they can actually create a story. So I'm going to choose cat. I'm going to choose a character name. Sometimes I got to choose a setting, depending on the skill. And within a few seconds, the AI will write a story, illustrate it, and render it for the student. This is all presented in a student-friendly reader where they can hear the words phonetically read aloud along with a kid-friendly definition. So we are the only, for thousands of educators and students, LitLab's decodables feel like magic. We hear this constantly. It was really fun and refreshing to see this type of engagement and to see scholars actually learning from this. We're the only reading tool in the market that actually allows students to create what they read, and we're grounded in the science of reading, unlike some other companies out there. So does this work? Yes, absolutely. In some of our early data with nationally normed tests, we see that LitLab had higher growth, upper quartile growth, than compared to other classes that did not use LitLab. As for us, we're a team of small but mighty folks who are really fired up about this particular mission of making early reading more joyful and more personalized. We've built and sold companies like Mystery Science to over tens of millions in ARR, and we plan on being a leader in the space. We're backed by some awesome people, and we would love for you to follow our journey. Scan that QR code. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Varun. Up next, we have Mark from Primer.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Mark Knopf. I'm the founder of Primer. I'm also the son of 2 Lebanese immigrants who fled a civil war for a better life for me. My mother, she was the biggest advocate in my life and still is. If you know a thing or two about a Lebanese mother, you might forgive me for having called her a helicopter parent for most of my childhood. But looking back, I now recognize that my mother's been an indispensable ally in my day-to-day education, both in and out of the classroom. So why I'm here today is because of my mentor, Dr. Michael Crow. As president of ASU, he stood on the keynote stage here at GSV back in 2018, and he announced we would be building a lifelong learning tool that would change education. He commissioned me with this project, and I've spent the better part of a decade working in collaboration with educators, innovators, and most importantly, students themselves to bring this technology to light. So I'm proud today to announce Primer. Primer is a lifelong learning companion that adapts itself using a patent-pending architecture where it learns from each student and can adapt a bespoke learning pathway for each individual throughout their life from pre-K to career to gray. We are now connected with all major learning management systems so that we can both support open-ended learning as well as structured learning within the classrooms. And ultimately, I'm trying to build a technology that provides an advocate, mentor, and really a personal learning management system to my children, which is what this is all about. So to showcase the product today, I thought the best way to do so would really be to show it from the lens of my son, Mark, how he uses the tool today with my supervision, and how we envision him using it going into the future. Let's watch the video.
I love rabbits.
You want me to tell Primer that you love rabbits?
Yeah.
Primer, my son wants me to tell you that he loves rabbits.
With their soft fur, twitchy noses, and happy little hops, they can surely capture anyone's heart. I'm glad your son has found joy in these gentle animals, and perhaps in his stuffed bunny, Mo, as well. If he likes, we can imagine all sorts of rabbit adventures.
Do you want a bunny story?
What shall we name your son's imaginary rabbit play? And what kind of story does he want to hear today about this fuzzy companion's adventures?
What kind of story? A story of Mo doing what?
Hopping away outside. Yeah, do that.
Mark, it sure looks like your teachers have you quite busy right now. Are you feeling ready for that upcoming bio exam?
I sure hope so, Primer. We've been preparing for weeks. Maybe one more learning game. Primer, I'd love your help identifying a career that I might enjoy one day.
Sure, Mark. I know you've always had an affinity for animals, so what do you think about these options?
Huh. Yeah, let's try it.
Well, Mark, I would say you are well on your way with your career.
Couldn't have done it without you.
Is that a yes?
Primer, I'm really missing my dad today. I'd love to hear his voice again.
Certainly, Mark. Here is a memory your father always cherished.
Oh, wait, slow down. Too fast. Yeah, she's having fun though. You like pushing her?
Yeah, try to move out.
You want me to move out of the way? Yeah, sure.
So this is our big dream, and while this might seem like a far-fetched concept, it's actually a product that's available today for all of you to use. We hope you'll visit our website and really experience it firsthand. We've been piloting, and we'll soon announce large-scale adoption and strategic partners with some of the world's biggest K-12 districts, community colleges, and universities, including ASU. You might ask why Primer. As a technologist, I think I see a lot of point solutions out there that are really good, but the question is, will they be around in 6 months? We've really spent the time building a platform that will bring the best point technologies to bear and exist into the future. So we'll hope you join us on this mission, and ultimately we're doing all of this for a mission where every single person in the world will have access to a world-class mentor and advocate to support them throughout their lives. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you, Mark. Up next, we have Puneet Kohli from Careerflow.ai.
Hello, everybody. I'm Puneet Kohli from Careerflow.ai, and we're building an AI-powered career services platform. Before I even begin, I want to ask 2 questions. First, how many of you have ever looked for work before? With a show of hands. Around 80% of you. Interesting. How many of you actually enjoyed the process of finding a job? 1 person. Great. Well, everyone else, you're not alone. 73% of job seekers actually say that job search is one of the most stressful times in their lives. And it's not surprising because job seekers have to go through a variety of different things to actually get from I need a job to getting that job, such as writing resumes, preparing for interviews, writing cover letters, dealing with rejections, applications, filling out forms, and so many different things that could be a TED Talk of its own. In this ecosystem of finding a job, there's mainly 3 players. First is the job seekers who actually need a job, employers providing the jobs, and third is career services providers such as higher ed career centers, workforce development boards, nonprofits, etc., who are helping with these career transitions and matching the 2 together. At Careerflow, we focus on the bottom 2, that is the job seekers and the career services providers, and enable both of these together. Overall, our solution is a co-pilot that aids in the career journey. We have AI workflow automations that save 10+ hours a week for our users, both on the career services and job seeker side. We enable higher quality of job applications across industries, and we're integrated with 75+ different career websites through a Chrome browser extension, and it's available at a fraction of a cost at any other point solution. And since we had 20% of the room roughly who hasn't searched for a job before, here's a quick primer on what it looks like. First, you have to prepare career documents, right? So write a resume, write a LinkedIn profile, make sure it's up to date, write cover letters, etc. And then you do one of 3 things, or hopefully all 3. First, you actually apply to jobs online. Second, you network with people to make sure that you can get referrals, etc. And third is you prep and hopefully pray for interviews. That leads to an interview and technically an offer at the end. So I'll now show you a quick video of how Careerflow helps job seekers in this whole process. So we start with an AI-based resume builder that helps first optimize a resume based on industry best practices, templates, and features. We actually have an AI chatbot that's kind of like ChatGPT, but for resumes. Then when you're searching for jobs across 75 different job sites, we pull out the skills from the job description and tell you how you match. If you want to apply, we'll actually generate a customized cover letter for you and a customized resume. And we go a step beyond. Once you're at the job application site, we actually fill out the job form for you so that you don't have to. This is a great efficiency boost while we also improve the quality of the job applications. We've actually seen that people land their first interview in 30 days after using Careerflow, and that's 60% faster than average. We have a job application tracker to keep track as well. On networking, we help with the LinkedIn profiles, which, as you all know, is very important in today's world. We've actually been able to show, by using our LinkedIn profile optimizer, people get seen by 2x as many recruiters on LinkedIn. And that's very powerful. We also help find hiring managers who are hiring at different companies in real time to be able to reach out to them with outreach messages, reminders, and follow-ups, etc. And finally, we help with things like prepping for interviews and generating an elevator pitch. I can't tell you how many times if you ask someone, tell me about yourself, they'll give you a 10-minute life story. So we've been able to service about 400,000 job seekers till date with our solution. On the flip side, with career services providers, that industry is under massive stress because there's operational inefficiencies, limited tooling and data, and ever-increasing expectations from job seekers and the overall market. So for career services providers, we basically give them detailed access and data about all the job seekers they're working with in real time. For context, it typically takes people a quarter to a year to figure out if someone actually landed a job, and we can tell that now in real time with our solution to career service providers. We also help with things like goal setting, one-on-one support, facilitation, and real-time insights and tips for the career service providers, such as, hey, you have 10% of your job seekers that you're working with who haven't actually landed an interview in over 90 days, go check it out. Or this person needs help on their resume, go help them within the platform. And we have a variety of features. We're not a point solution. We're actually an all-in-one end-to-end solution for both the seeker and the provider. And quickly, a case study is that we've been able to see 2x as many caseload per coach, career coach, with our solution. We save career teams 4 hours a week, and we've actually improved the productivity and efficiency of them for 3x on some use cases. We have a variety of partners and customers across different types of career teams. And thank you all for listening. Really appreciate it. And if you are interested, would love to get in touch. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, up next, we have Ashishkumara from Vani Coach.
So I'd like to begin by talking about the idea of communication fitness. I'm not qualified to talk about fitness, but communication fitness, I've been doing that for about 20 years. So for a working professional, communication is the same as for a sports person, your fitness when you play. So your fitness affects your performance. And we stretched the term to include a lot of things, whether it is your language proficiency, your ability to make your ideas stand out, to be able to connect with others. And this affects your performance at job. Imagine you are someone who's an engineering design person talking to a business development team member who's from a different geography. The amount of time lost and the cost incurred in doing different iterations, that's the cost of poor communication, and it has a real impact on job performance. And that's the problem that we have been trying to solve for quite some time. For 12 years, we used to do it as a small services organization doing 1:1 coaching, but that couldn't really be scaled. We could cater to not even 1% of the people who really needed that. And over the last few years, the cost of this has gone up. So companies need more and more of this, because unlike earlier where you were limited to a geography communicating only with a few people around you, now things have opened up. So you could be a plant operator in a small manufacturing plant in, say, Himachal Pradesh, but you speak with, say, a US FDA auditor who comes in, and safety inspectors who come in. And so it's no more just about working on your machine and coming back. So things have shifted quite a bit around us. What we realized was that the only way you can actually get people to communicate better is by making them practice and giving them personalized feedback. If you simply feed content to them without context, without feedback, without actual practice. So we said that people actually need to exercise their communication, just as I need to exercise more to be fitter as I grow older. So what we did over 12 and a half years, all the data we had collected, we put it together and started building Vani as an app, as a coach. So the idea is that the app listens to you as a coach would, generates a lot of real-world situations for you to practice, and you go, you record, it'll ask you questions, and then give you personalized feedback. Now, an important thing to understand is that in our experience working with more than 50,000 professionals, they want to focus only on what's really relevant to them. And that's where personalization makes a difference. If they have to learn a concept academically, many a times they don't want to do it. Because imagine you're traveling 2-3 hours a day, you're working 9-10 hours a day, and that's a reality in India. We don't always get 40-hour weeks. So when you do that, then you really have very little energy left to process things. So you need to lower the cognitive load, make it easy for them to practice, and that's what Vani does. People spend 12 minutes a day on our app, on an average 4 to 5 days a week. So it's like taking your communication out for a walk or a jog, and you keep improving. And this has been measured not just in the actual transformation in the way people communicate. We are able to now link it with their job performance. So we are able to see that they're able to, say, expand the top of the funnel, or they're able to increase more time with a doctor if you're a medical rep, a pharma rep, how much time you spend with them. And that's where our clients see value. And the impact of it is evident that we've been able to sign up almost one enterprise organization a week in 2.5 years. Well, that number now stands at 125. We have 125 customers, some of the largest banks, pharma companies, manufacturing companies, conglomerates, and we have been able to retain all of them because now they see it as a business solution, because when people achieve transformation, it has an impact on business outcomes. So Vani's proposition is communication fitness for business outcome. This is how we have grown in terms of revenue, and we are at 30% EBITDA positive. I have only about 15 seconds remaining, so if you really want to try it out, you can go to Vani.Coach and you can experience. It can immediately generate scenarios, you can practice, and it'll give you feedback. So that's what we are here for. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you. Up next, we have Connor Nudd presenting Jamworks.
Good morning, everyone. Great. So here to introduce Jamworks. What we're building, what we're working towards is building your lifelong learning companion. So I'm going to start off with some numbers. And we're actually going to talk about lectures in this scenario. 7,200. That's how many words tend to be delivered in a lecture, how many words a teacher would speak. 43,200. That's how many words are delivered across a week per student. 172,800. That's over a semester. And I could keep on going. 518,400. And then for a student, when you're adding on extracurricular studies, further reading, all of that kind of stuff, this is all of the data, all of the information that a student now has to process. So a recent answer to this over the past couple of years has been universal design. How can courses become more accessible and more equitable for students? So instructors have started to adopt this. They have multiplied their time by about 10 times because they now have to create 5-10 different versions of their course curriculum. So after they've spent all of this time, they believe they've nailed it. But the reality is that students don't feel any more supported. So the answer is that we can use AI to personalize that experience for the student. Using Jamworks, every single student will have a unique experience with their lecture notes, their learning materials, so that we reduce the academics time, but then it's tailored towards the student. So I'm going to show a video to walk it through. Will it play? So what we've just shown you there is a student is able to record their class, or the teacher can do it on behalf of the student. We then take that recording, and based on a few personalizations that the student makes, we personalize that experience. We create learning materials that are specific to them and their needs. The output for this is things like using a chatbot. 70% of students feel like they're able to grasp the concepts better. It also works as a teaching partner, so we're reducing the teacher's time and accessibility. So students have access to material at any time. So we launched in the US in September last year. We've welcomed 14 universities and colleges to Jamworks. We have 45 that are trialing over the next few months. And our customers love us. So University of Denver described Jamworks as life-changing for their students. And North Central College, they have students crying in their office because of how happy they are that technology like this exists today. Thank you.
Awesome, nice job, Connor. Up next, we have Mike Jordani from Quizard.
All right. Thanks, guys. Hello, everyone. I'm Mike, and I'm super excited to introduce you to Quizard. We're democratizing access to personalized education for over 1 billion students across the globe. To start things off, I want to provide you with the unique perspective I have as a student who graduated college less than a year ago, and the very real root cause of many students' pain. Here is what my desktop would look like the night before an exam or completing an assignment. I would have 20 different tabs open. One for my lecture slides, one for the lecture video, one for my textbook, and of course, one for ChatGPT. Complete chaos, and this is all because I forgot which way the chart moves when demand increases in a competitive market. This is what real pain looks like, and what millions of college students experience on a daily basis. Students spend so much time outside the classroom trying to learn, but have no straightforward path through the endless sets of materials that are thrown at them. And when you consider a student staring at this screen for 8+ hours a day, it becomes very clear why many of them resort to cheating or not completing their degree. So, me and my co-founder set out to solve this problem and built Quizard in January of 2023 from our dorm room. The concept was simple: make it as easy as possible for students to access the information they need to help themselves get unstuck in their time of need. Our product allows you to scan a question you're stuck on and get instant support in the form of step-by-step explanations and related resources from the web. We instantly went viral overnight, hitting 10,000 users with a video titled, "ChatGPT and Photomath Had a Baby." We got over 1 million views in under 48 hours. A little bit over a year later, and with minimal paywall, we're currently profitable and generating over $2 million in ARR. But this revenue is not what's most exciting to us. This massive traction has allowed us to build out profiles on 1.7 million students across 45 million questions that have been asked. Each question asked to Quizard allows us to gain more information on where a student struggles. And this is the first key piece of data we're using to build what we call the Quizard Learning Engine. The Quizard Learning Engine takes in a student's context and, over time, builds out a detailed profile of their strengths and weaknesses. Let me tell you a little bit more about how it works and how it helps students learn. In order to build a great learning experience, you first need a curriculum, clearly defined learning objectives for that student. So what we do is we ingest the student's course materials and break it down into these objectives, kind of like a map of the course. We then use this map to route our content that we generate for students, ensuring 2 key values: trust and relevance. See, the problem with so many AI solutions that currently exist, like ChatGPT, is that they often mislead students by giving them incorrect information or information that's out of scope for their course. So we fix that problem. The next thing we do is we place the student's learning profile within this map. It's kind of like turning every student's course into a video game. We create a skill graph where they can track how they're doing in their course. We know what they're good at, what they need to spend more time practicing, and we can use this information to tailor our content and provide students with more transparency into where they're struggling. This is how we're turning every college course into a learnable path, rather than a complicated mess of materials. And this isn't science fiction or a bold plan for the future. This is something happening now. We're releasing the first version of the Quizard Learning Engine as a part of the Quizard Workspace that's coming out in fall of 2024. We released the product to a select set of beta testers and received raving reviews. with students talking about how they're saving hours every week and using the product on a daily basis. And students are not the only ones who are excited about our new product. We have some amazing investors who've backed us in this journey, from AI leaders, edtech legends, and some of the CTOs of the largest companies. But perhaps, who's most excited is our awesome team. Not only do we have experience scaling consumer applications, publishing AI research, but most importantly, we were students ourselves just 8 months ago. Half of our team still lives on a college campus and uses our product on a daily basis. No amount of market research can build a level of empathy we have for our users because we are our users. Education is changing, and we're empowering the leaders of tomorrow to take it into their own hands. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Michael. Up next, we have Carlos Effio from UDocz.
Hi everyone, I'm Carlos. I'm the founder of UDocz, and I want to share with you how we're helping millions of university students in Latin America access a brighter future. The most reliable path for economic mobility in Latin America is getting a university degree. So 2x is the average increase in income that having a university degree provides. As a result, several new universities have emerged in the region, resulting in a very fast growth in enrollments. This has brought a set of new problems. Dropout rates have been growing just as fast. These new students are entering higher education unprepared, and they need ongoing support to fill these learning gaps. What we find out is that the difficulties, the challenges they face are very similar. So we built UDocz for them with the goal of helping these students learn and master whatever it is they are studying. Our learning platform provides course-specific materials and custom help for these students. We help them save time, money, learn more effectively, and master their subjects by centralizing all their learning materials in a single place and providing subject-specific help at 5x less than the average cost of tutoring. However, what is unique about us is that instead of creating the content ourselves, we rely on a strong network of students and educators who are the ones who create and share their own content. That way, we can reach a much wider audience. We can reach any student in any field and any topic. And it is on top of this amazing base of content that we build the learning tools and capabilities that actually help the student learn and retain information better. For example, we have built our own AI tutor with 4 powerful different learning modes, each one suited to each student's own needs. We have also built flashcards, created instantly from the materials the students are sharing, which are their class notes. This one helps us track the students' strengths and weaknesses. We also create quizzes that encourage students to answer open-ended questions, and we provide instant feedback based on their answers. The cool thing is that all of these learning features are tied to a canonical piece of content that is coming exactly from the student's own classroom. So it's really idiosyncratic content. These features are easily accessible from our core reading experience. You can see it working here. Basically, it's a behavior that the students were already taking. We just made it more powerful and efficient. We're getting some amazing results. Every month, we're helping hundreds of thousands of students get better grades in university. And we are even helping a fraction of those students pay for their education. By teaching and sharing their materials with their fellow classmates, they have been able to pay for a couple of semesters at their universities. We have managed to create a very strong brand, which is incredibly powerful in education specifically. We have been growing super fast. We reach 1 out of 10 students, basically in Latin America, resulting in tens of millions of learning sessions every single month. And the best thing is that both students and educators love us. Even though our end customer is the student, we have been able to build partnerships with some amazing institutions, especially universities who align with our mission of helping their students succeed in their classes. And all of this was only possible thanks to a very strong team. We have been working together for years, both in technology companies and, most importantly, education companies from Latin America. So if you find what we're doing interesting, please reach out. I would be super happy to hear from you, and just wanted to end sharing a UDocz diploma next to their university diploma. Thank you.
Okay, up next we have Kisprativa from ASI.
Hello, everybody. Yeah, my name is Kisprativa. I'm the founder and CEO of ASI. Our mission from the very beginning was, how do we give every student in the world a personal tutor? It was a mission that we were working towards years before ChatGPT and launched months before ChatGPT. Late 2022 and early 2023, and we were here last year sort of demoing this, we started to see the early glimpses of this. We were very early to the AI race in building multimodal AI, so students could speak to an AI with voice notes. They could take a picture of diagrams and ask questions about this. This is something we launched months prior to OpenAI or any of the big AI labs launching multimodal AI formally. We built pedagogical AI, so giving the power to language models to understand what styles of pedagogy a student might resonate with. And students started to love it, for the first week or so. When we started looking at it in a long enough time span, the truth was students weren't loving it as much as we thought it would, which is weird because the problems in education historically stayed the same, right? There is a pressing need for one-on-one personal instruction. There is a pressing need for making up learning loss that was caused by COVID. And the truth is a large percentage of the world has no access to tutoring, to one-on-one personalized education. And everybody thought that AI was a solution for it. Our sort of contrarian belief is that today's AI isn't the solution to it, which is sort of bad news because my entire job depends on today's AI being the solution for it. But the truth is, we thought there was something more to be done. How do we build what's truly missing from AI systems today? How do we build a true, so to speak, competitor for personalized instruction, not just for the students who are in the US or in the UAE or any of the developed countries, but how do we start thinking about how do we truly guide students who don't have a great teacher in front of them, who don't have a great tutor that they can sort of go to in addition to the AI? So we started to think about how the AI of tomorrow looks like. We brought in some excellent people. Dun Xiao from 17 EdTech, he scaled his company to over 100 million active users and sort of revolutionized one-on-one, one-to-many human tutoring. We brought Alan Greenberg, who was here with me last year, who used to be at Apple. We started building a team around really figuring out how do we provide true personalized instruction? How do we cut through the hype that's in AI today where it's not just a chatbot? So today I'd like to show you what the AI of tomorrow looks like, in our opinion. So we think the AI of tomorrow will, let me go back. Yeah, we think the AI of tomorrow will sort of lead to a generative interface, an interface that truly understands you as a student. How do we sort of, sorry, the video's not playing, give me a second. All right, thank you. Great, thank you. So we think AI isn't just a chat interface. We think chat is actually the core bottleneck of providing personalized instruction. How many times does a student truly learn something through pure conversation? We think there's another element to be built there. So we're creating something we called personalized generative interfaces, a pedagogical AI that really focuses on the fundamentals of learning and the pedagogy behind the learning science that should be supplied to students. Not only do we give you the content that you need, but we give you the content that you need in a format that you understand best, whether it's illustrations with rocket diagrams when you're trying to understand physics, something that's interactive, games that pop up on the fly. And the really magical thing about this is everything's generated using models that we create ourselves. So here's a quiz when the AI detects that the student needs a quiz at the right time. We believe in a future where students aren't prompting the AI, but AI is prompting the student. We truly believe that as powerful as the technology is, the challenge shouldn't be how do we get students engaged with it. The challenge is how do we get the technology to be as good for students to want to be engaged with it. A truly interactive experience where they're receiving an interface that's truly personalized to them and built on the fly. This is all developed on top of something we're calling the Learner's Navigation Engine, LNE. We believe that what students are truly missing today is not just a personalized instructional tutor, but it's true guidance, right? Even students in the top 1% of countries and top 1% of societies are missing what we like to call guidance. They don't know what the struggle is not just learning what they should be learning. The struggle is knowing what they should be learning. What fundamentals are they missing? So we trained a model from the ground up that can understand exactly what a student's weaknesses are, what their strengths are, how good they are at certain topics in correlation with the curriculum they're studying, and how best they learn certain topics. And we start assigning mastery scores to topics. We also start assigning scores to the style of learning they prefer best. Does the student like an analogy about football? Does the student like to learn stuff using a specific language? Is there a specific dialect of English that they prefer? And the goal is to build a hyper-personalized tutor that understands the student incredibly well. We then take this data and we partner with government, schools, institutions to provide this data and provide a bird's eye view of the student's understanding of certain topics itself. We have a contract with the UAE government where we're deploying this at a national scale and a few other governments in the pipeline where we're really trying to figure out what is the data that students and schools need. And we'd love to sort of work with people in the audience that might be interested in similar problems. How do we solve the issue of the lack of data that teachers and institutions have today? So that's my email down there, and then the QR code to our website where you could sort of reach out and have a contact form. But yeah, thank you, everybody.
Okay, nice job, kiddos. Next up, we have Dhruv Sampat from Vedika.
Hello, everyone. I'm the founder and CEO of Vedika AI. We are on a mission to empower schools in India with AI-powered teaching staff. In India, I don't know how many of you are aware, but it's been a country that has had a culture of having expensive coaching centers, expensive edtech apps that has led to student stress, suicides for the largest part of almost 40 years now. So me and my co-founders, Anirudh Khaitan and Ankit, he's the owner of the Khaitan Public School System and also the chairperson of ICI, which is a very influential education policy-making body, came together to form Vedika to build the first fully AI automated classroom by the end of this decade. But before we get there, the way we have started off today is with a mission to empower the 1.5 schools in India with AI-powered tools to help their teachers and eliminate the need for expensive tuition centers and edtech apps. So what's our approach? When we started off, schools in India want to know at a topic and a subtopic level, what is the understanding of their students? At a subtopic level in maths, let's say Pythagoras, right? Like, do their students understand Pythagoras theorem? That then empowers them to, educate them and do remediation plans. So we build a simple benchmarking tool, which is delivered through our app. Schools then, the school administration gets the data at a topic level. Where do students stand? And from there, then we allow teachers to create AI, using AI, create learning materials and testing solutions. Then those are administered to the student, and the students then spend time on the app to, go through, sorry, I'm blanking out. The students are then spend timing on the app in a self-driven learning mode, and then we do re-benchmarking to make them understand, have they improved or not. So I'm just going to quickly jump into the demo of the product. Hi, and welcome to this demo of Vedika AI. First, you log in as a teacher, select the subject, then click on Create a Test. Select the topics that you want to create the test on. In this case, it's coordinate, geometry, and trigonometry. Then press Submit, and then the system will generate a 10-question test for you. Once it's generated, you can review the questions for accuracy and relevancy. Click on Preview, and verify the questions all at once. Then submit the test for printing to your examination center. Once the test is conducted, you can instantaneously review the results in your online account. You get the class average, the aggregate class performance by the topics that the students were tested on. You can view the individual student performance, also their question by question performance. You can also view the class's aggregated performance on each question. And once you have all the data about student performance, you can assign them remediation work, which the students can begin by logging into their own account. A student logs in, then clicks on Learn, goes to the topic that the teacher has assigned them remediation for. In this case, it was coordinate geometry. The student begins by clicking on New Practice Test, selecting the number of questions, starting off at the easy level, and then a system generates a test for them. This test is taken with the assistance of an AI co-pilot. For every question in this test, the AI co-pilot gives them a hint. Then the AI gives them more deeper insights into the question. They can also look at videos on the topic or a topic explanation to help them better answer the question. Once they have reviewed all the information available from the AI Copilot, they can select their best response, and they can do so for every question. Once a student has completed the test and it's submitted, a student gets a detailed report for every topic and a question-by-question analysis of how they perform. They can query the AI again for an explanation for why their selected answer was wrong to get a detailed step-by-step analysis. After reviewing their test thoroughly, they can then retake the test or generate a new practice test. And we are operating in a big market. The school SaaS application market is going to be 87 billion in the next 5 years in India. We have had some great success early on. 4 contracted schools, 15 pilots running, and we have already seen approximately a 20% improvement in the average scores of students that have been using our product. We have strategic partnerships with Fiki, logging a classroom in that is giving us retention almost to the point of 40% week over week. That has been unheard of in EdTech for the largest period of time. Thank you.
Okay, great. Up next, we have Rick Lee from Answer.AI.
Okay, so thanks everybody. Our company is called Answer.AI. In a brief sentence, we are the fastest growing of mobile native AI tutor in US. Now, what we have done is we built this company at last year, that's March 2023, and we got over 2 million US high school students user in 1 year. And currently, most of the time, we're ranked in the top 10 of iPhone education. And we found that there is a totally new business model than that homework helpers. Because we know that before that, like PhotoMath way, the homework helpers that is user trying to hit and run to solve the homework. But after LLM, we have a chance to let user using an AI tutor that is conversation and understanding of mastering all the knowledges with the power of LLM and with the power of mobile phone and camera. That's our basic idea. And after we published it in App Store, it's growing super fast. So we have our product positioning is different. It's different from those homework helpers. So first of all, we are a mobile-first AI tutor for all the subjects. So many of the AI tutors are focused on the laptop or other things, but maybe some of the high school students like to laying on the bed and just play their phones and learning that. So mobile is very important. The second thing is we found that mobile camera is very essential for those subjects which have much of formulas and figures. So they need to take a photo to have a conversation with those AI tutors. So this is a demo for
Answer.AI is an industry-leading all-in-one AI tutor trusted by over 2 million students. Built as a large language model native app, Answer.AI is the first learning app that makes advanced tech and geometry problem-solving readily available for students from mobile phones. Know any students who like being on their phones? Unlike traditional homework helpers, Answer.AI covers all subjects, from math to history, biology to English. Better yet, the app stimulates student agency, engaging in whatever concepts they want to master. Answer.AI prioritizes fostering understanding of concepts and nudges students to think and learn actively. With an AI tutor, students can ask as many questions as they want without ever feeling anxious or silly in front of others. It goes beyond providing quick answers passively, which ends learning prematurely. So, ready to learn more?
Okay, let's go to another page. So, I think the major issue is for personalization study. That is, most of the teachers are facing a class of 24 students in average. So every student have its different level of learning and level of understanding. So we are trying to use another way to solve this. That is, let the students to express their own demands. So this is our differentiation with other apps. We focus on the student side. We focus on after class. We focus on the interaction, that is critical thinking and talk with the agent, than just teaching them something and find out who has this kind of level. We'll let them to express by themselves. So here is our key finding and what we get from Answer.AI. We found that 65% of the users, in these 2 million users, after they get the answer of their homework, the questions, they're still continuing to ask questions if you provide suitable materials for them. They click the materials and dig into the knowledge by themselves. And all the subscribers are the students, not from the school, not from the school district, not from the teachers. They are paying for themselves for $9.99 per month. I asked them, they said they make the decision and the parents want to pay it. This may growing another consumer side business model for this. Okay, this is how the user said it is good. I just skip it. So for the fundraising side, we start with a 1.3 million angel round by ourselves. And then at February, we hit about 4 million ARR, and we got over 2 million users, and we just closed the seed round of $6 million invested, leading by LitLab Ventures. And in the future, we are trying to build the best AI tutor that must be more interactive and more universal. So thank you, and scan the barcode.
Okay, great. To close out AI-powered personalized learning solutions, we have Jerome from Sizzle.
Good morning. The mission of Sizzle is to make learning amazing for everyone. And we're not the first one who wanted to do this. You know, in the early 2000, MOOCs, massive online open courses, came online. And the idea, you know, can you give access to everybody on the planet to high-quality education? And in many ways, it did, right? That you are in Kenya or in Philippines, you can have access to MIT courses and Stanford courses. But we all know that the problem with these courses is people come, but they don't stay. They start the class, they don't finish it. I come from Meta. I was at Meta before, leading the AI team there. And one of the big projects I did there was, you know, to catch up with TikTok and make Reels. I don't know if you remember Reels, you know, in the early days. It kind of sucked, actually. And you know, it's easy to see the difference between social media and learning, right? It's easy to consume, it has small byte content, it's very diverse. But the key to making that experience very enticing is personalization, right? When you go on TikTok or when you go on Reels now, the system really understands who you are very quickly from every interaction. That's a flywheel that at Sizzle, we want to put into action. And instead of getting you to just scroll for scrolling's sake, we want you to learn something out of it. That's the vision behind Sizzle, and we think that now is the time to do this because the ability to generate content or an experience that's personalized has changed completely thanks to Gen AI. So in the past, creating an exercise used to cost $200. A 1-hour session used to cost tens of dollars. I mean, New York costs like $100 or more. But now with Gen AI, it's possible to do that maybe at 1/10, 100th, 1,000th of the cost, right? And our view is we want to be the app that learns how people learn in the same way that TikTok or Reels understand how you like to browse. We want to learn how you learn. Now we started with some simpler use cases. We launched an app 6 months ago. One is similar to some of you have seen, the solving use case. Our little twist there in this app is that we want to let you answer the problem as well. So we don't give you the answer right away. We make you work for it. So you take a picture, you get the answer, but we show you the steps, but we don't give you the answer right away. We ask you, can you actually try to answer it yourself? Or here are some options, and pick one of them and see if you can actually solve it on your own. We launched a new version of that, which is what we call the learning feed. You can see like the roots from social media. If you want to try it, actually anybody can actually use it. You can download Sizzle. The neat little twist here is that you can basically ask it to learn anything you want from like the Eclipse or educational science or Taylor Swift, and it will give you kind of a sequence of interactive content. Let me see if I can get that to run there. So you type, any kind of topic. Here it's like, an AP topic. We are almost in AP season. And you can make it as specific as you want. So you can say AP Physics Forces. And the system will kind of generate on the fly, either by retrieving some pre-generated content or generating on the fly some little activities. You can try to find the mistake out of a paragraph, and we'll tell you if you highlighted right. It can do multiple choices. It can do things like fill in the blank, and creating an activity like this so that you will learn the topic as quickly as possible. And obviously what we do in the back end is we understand where you're struggling, what are the topics you understand better than others, and we can adapt that content dynamically. Again, our view at Sizzle is not to give you the answer, but make you work for it, gives you a set of learning activities that meet you where you are. One of the last features we introduced is what we call a checker. So instead of actually giving you the answer to your homework, we actually suggest you actually upload your homework with a solution there. So you can take a picture of the actual problem you have tried to solve, and then the system will give you like an overview of what it thinks you've done well and not well. So it gives you some comments, and you can go through it, highlighting the mistakes you may have made or not. Ultimately, what we're trying to optimize for at Sizzle is not to give you answers or get you to do your homework quickly, but really get you to learn more interactively, give access to everybody to a companion for learning that knows you really well and adapts the learning and make it a lot more compelling. Thank you.
Okay, great. That closes up group 2. We will be back with Next Gen School Infrastructure at 2:10. Thanks, everyone.